So I think creating that importance, creating the urgency, creating the awareness, I think this is really where we have to step up as a country, as a company, and also from an Danfoss perspective. I think how do we carry this message across the entire 3,000 employees and make them really part of this transformation?
Right. And I see that this also creates a lot of positive impact on the culture of the organization also. So when we speak about the impact on the culture of the organization that we drive in, how do you see that?
I think we have fundamentally a very good template in front of us, which is the Danfoss behaviors, and I think this is a very solid one for us. And if we can actually live these behaviors, diversity, equity, inclusion is an integral part of the behaviors actually. Thinking Danfoss, for example, if I take as one of the behaviors actually, how do you have everybody's voice on the table? Giving a voice on the table for everybody is as important, right? And as individuals, we need to think what is good for Danfoss actually. And again, when we sit as teams, when we work as teams, when we work in more challenging projects, I think it's better to have voices from everybody heard, and it helps the organization. Alignment is better, execution is faster, customers see the difference as a very strong team actually. And I think evidences have shown that once we have become a strong team, we are unbeatable. So for me, I think sensitizing this becomes very important, and I think as leaders, we all have a very important role in not just creating awareness, but also using the awareness to build long-term collaboration with teams and make sure that everybody has a voice and we treat everybody equally and inclusive in our decisions as well.
Now my last question to you is, not as a president, but on a personal level, how do you think this topic of diversity and inclusion will help?
On a personal note, I can tell you a personal story. When I was growing up, my grandfather always used to tell me this actually, not tell me, but tell the family that, he doesn't care whether, the born baby was a girl or a boy, because for us, a boy or a girl was equal in our families actually.
Right.
So for us, we grew up in a family where, in those days, the number of people in the family was very large, and my father was one of the 10 children actually. So equity and inclusion was always there, because how does a father treat all the 10? You can't differentiate 10 children in a family.
Right.
So I have grown up in a family of that kind of environment. So I really don't differentiate only male can do it, or only female can do it, or only X can do it, or only Y can do it. To me, I think what is important is to understand that each person has different strengths and each person has different orientation. As a company, as leaders, we need to make sure that we support each person rightly so that they are able to deliver the best in class performance that they can bring to the table actually. This is what at least I've learned personally, which, of course, in a company environment it may be different, but as long as we can provide and sensitize our employees to really bring the best from everybody. Not everybody will be equal, not everybody will be the same, but each person may require different levels of support, different levels of mentoring, different levels of motivation. But understanding that and providing a framework, it could be even small adjustments in the HR policy, or creating a small ramp for somebody who's disabled to come to a toilet.
Right.
I mean, these are all small things, but they are very important things for us actually.
Very true.
So I think if we can actually bring what we do in our daily work, from what we do in our families to our daily work, and take it back to our families, I think businesses are not different from family life. I mean, we spend almost half the time in the business and half the time in the family. So they are very interconnected, how we think and how we act and how we conduct ourselves. So I personally feel, from a personal point of view, I think all of us have to really create a lot more awareness about this, embrace these changes as we start to become a $7-10 trillion economy. We also will be a developed nation at some point in time. So giving a seat on the table for everybody is important. That's how I would see it.
Right. Thank you, and that brings me to the end of the conversations. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you very much, Pradeepa, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.